This is about where we left off the last time we were working in Pixlr. And every day when I open up my image, I close out the promotion, bring the history down, and expand my layers so I can see what they are. Unlock the background layer, go back up to the top, and now I want to add my next layer. My next layer, I'm going to open an image as a layer, and I have already saved two more images called person sitting at round table eating. So I open that and zoom in. Normally when I have a plain white background, I can grab my wand tool, click into the white area and just delete it. But the problem with that is that her whole arm disappeared also because it's the same tone as the background. So I'm going to Control Z, undo that, and now I have to figure out a way around it. What I'm going to do here is take my eraser tool and a small eraser, size 20, and I'm going to come around her hair the best I can with one hand, and then around her shoulder, around the water, and around the chair. I can clean the rest of this up later because I think that should be good enough where it blocks off the magic wand. So let's try this again. I'm going to go grab my wand, click here, and I think that did it. Perfect. Most of the white is gone, and I want to delete this area. And now I can just click off of it, go back, get my eraser tool, and finish erasing all of these lines on the outside here. Clean up as much as you can of the table. We're going to see the chairs, but we are not going to see them, so I can grab a bigger brush. Ooh, that was really big. That cleans things up real fast. But we don't need anything quite that large. So I'm going to go further down and not erase that water bottle that's there. I need a smaller brush. And get all in here. I go back and grab my magic wand, delete out of there, and it's still going to take off her arm, so I don't want to do that. Delete that and her ponytail right behind her. Okay, again, I'm still going to need to grab a smaller eraser. And clean up around the edges. What I want to do now is move these people over to the dining room where they belong. I'm going to edit and free transform after I zoom in over to the dining room to see where they make sense of how big they should be. And I want to hit the Shift key and make them large, and that should be about right. The next thing I did is I open an image as a layer, and I saved a gray tablecloth earlier today. Here's my gray tablecloth. I take my wand tool, click into the white area, and then I can just press delete, and all of that got cleaned up like magic, which is why I call it the magic wand. Come over here with my table, and again I'm going to edit, free transform. And I want to make sure that table's wide enough to cover the chairs, but I also want to make sure it's tall enough so that it looks like, and there we go, they're sitting at it. Say yes, apply the changes. Now right now I would have to go through like we've usually done in the past and change the opacity of this so that I can erase where they're placemats and plates are. But instead of doing that, I am actually going to take layer 7, which is my gray table, and I'm going to move it under layer 6. And voila, now we can see all of this from layer 6 on top of the gray table. I forgot which layer was which, so I'm going to come over here, uncheck it, and the table disappeared. So now I can double click and do tablecloth, rename this layer to tablecloth. And then I'm going to also rename layer 6. That is the people eating. So I will write people, PPL, eating. And there we go. And then I'm going to come down. I'm still going to change the opacity on this tablecloth because I do want to get the eraser and clean up the edge down here so it looks like it goes behind the brick wall in the restaurant. And there we have it. Change my opacity back. And now it looks like the two people are in the restaurant having dinner. Tomorrow we're going to add more fun things like a restaurant sign, waiter in here, probably Godzilla coming in to take over the town. Maybe he's breathing some fire, and some air support coming in, maybe some blacktop, some grass area back here. We'll see what else we add, but all it basically is saving images from the internet, layering them in, opening a layer, adding it in, making sure I'm on a neutral tool at the end of the day, that it's on my top layer when I go to save, file, save, and it's no longer city in progress day 3. This was day 4. So I'm going to save it as soon as it's done working. Change the 3 to a 4. My format is a PXD. It must be a PXD because we are still in progress. I say okay, and I go back and I save it in the file that I want it to save to. City in progress day 4. Save it, and yes, there was already a file that said day 4, but I just redid it. And that should be it. However, something just went missing. The people had gone missing. The people eating. I just noticed this right over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to bring the people eating back up to the top, because they should be over. There we go. I grabbed it and I brought it all the way back up to the top, and now I can go back and save it. So file, save, and I'm going to call this one 4A, just so it's different than the last one. It's still day 4, but this is the next day 4. It says working, please wait. And I say 4A, okay. It's already on my file, Art77A, my art file, and I can push save. It should say image saved. There it is, and now I may close out for the day.